Wolf, and today we are doing a Real People, Real Healing show, and we're with Lucas and Beverly, and they are from, where are you from, Lucas?
We're from the UK, United Kingdom.
Yeah, whereabouts in the UK are you?
Actually on the Isle of Wight, near Southampton way.
Okay, and are you okay in the UK?
Well, defines what you mean by okay, Daryl.
Yeah, I get it. And everybody, I'm going to have Lucas come on what's called a Wolf Report and understand something. He has knowledge about the UK, and we're going to be coming back on here, and we're going to be sharing that knowledge with everyone, because maybe what you hear about the UK maybe isn't exactly what's going on, okay? All right? But today we're talking about real healing and real health. And we're going to be talking about Beverly's health. Hi, Beverly.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, as well as can be expected.
Okay, well, good. Let's see if we can make that a little bit better. Okay, so first of all, let's have a little bit of history on Beverly. Basically, what's going on with her health? What is her goals that she would like to achieve? And maybe let me know of any medication or any surgeries or trauma or anything like that. Just, I will sit back and lay it out for me, would you?
Right. Well, I've got lots of issues going on. I've had spinal surgery on my neck because I had 3 vertebrae which were severing my spinal cord.
1 second. You had 3 vertebrae that were what?
Severing my spinal cord.
Severing your spinal cord. Okay, all right. Now, did they tell you why?
Probably falling off of too many horses.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, love.
Always struggled with my weight all my life, even since, like, I suppose probably about the age of like 7 or 8. I've got a gallstone, I've got a hernia, and I've got cancer of the womb.
Okay, where's your hernia? Where's your hernia?
I think it's like belly button.
Okay. So it's an inguinal hernia.
And I've got an underactive thyroid.
And you got a what?
Underactive thyroid.
Well, okay, but let me just say this, okay? As everybody can notice, but let me just ask you a question. How long, okay, do you mind telling me what your weight is and your height?
Quite high, as you can see.
Okay. How long have you been this high?
When I first got in contact with you, I was bigger, and I've lost probably about 2 stone and managed to keep it off, but I keep fluctuating all the time, and I can't exercise much because I can't even stand up straight, because since I've had surgery, I'm like a chicken. I can't get my head back.
Okay, first of all, just know this, that if we were able to do cell sonic regeneration on you and I were to do non-surgical, you would be able to put your head back in approximately 20 to 25 minutes. How's that?
Well, that sounds fantastic.
You need to everybody needs to understand this. This is really important. This is why New World practitioners, we have a platform called BHN University, where people come and take our certifications and courses. All our practitioners give a money-back guarantee on the first treatment. And this is not a sales pitch. This is just telling you that we know what we're doing. We give a money-back guarantee on the first treatment that the irreversible is reversible, and we can prove it in the first treatment. And by bringing back massive range of motion, reducing pain down by at least 80 to 90%. And that is usually in the first treatment. I won't tell you 100% of that. But the reality is, you have to understand that when you got the surgery, okay, for actually your spine, did you know that the chances of you actually needing the surgery were very slight and slim. If you go to a surgeon, what are they going to do? Surgery? If you go to somebody who sells medication, what are you going to sell? Medication? And understand something, it was actually calcification and scar tissue formation that caused you to have the surgery. And the scar tissue could have been turned back into connective tissue and the calcium put back in your bones. And anybody can do this. This is not rocket science. And understand this, that surgery will create more scar tissue in a short period of time more than anything else on the planet. And understand, most people, the scar tissue they have in their body is actually caused because an inflamed mind and an inflamed lifestyle, what they drink, what they think, what they eat, and what they do. Most people are very abusive to themselves and they don't even know, because the majority of the population are very abusive on all levels. And that's a fact. Take a look at the majority of your family and they're all got symptoms. They've all got problems. I mean, at least 80 to 90% of them all have health problems. And even the children do, because the reality is that people really don't understand health, and most health practitioners don't understand health. And I'm talking about most natural health practitioners don't understand the real crux of health. Off the bat, Beverly, I'm going to tell you, have you eliminated every carb out of your house?
I haven't eliminated everyone, no.
Do you eat taco chips? Do you eat bread?
Do
you eat crackers?
Bread is probably my worst.
Just know bread
And
will
potatoes, but I've tried to.
Bread is going to be, what rhymes with bread? Dead? Bread is dead. Bread's dead.
Yep.
And bread fills you, it doesn't feed you. And the bread is going to take you down. And the reality is, unless you're buying an ancient grain organic bread, which I still don't tell people that they should do that, maybe a piece here or there. But the reality is, if you're just buying bread and it's not organic ancient grain with the hull and really high fiber, then that grain, you're just gulping down sugar. You know, we can only handle 1 teaspoon of sugar in the human body at a time. Okay, 1 teaspoon. That's all that can be in there. And right now, the majority of the population are gulping down 67 teaspoons a day. The majority, 67 teaspoons a day. Okay? And understand something. The refined carbs are going to kill you. And the only reason why you eat bread and you crave bread is because... And you'll notice that you'll do it through the day, but at nighttime, your cravings get worse, right?
No.
Not at night?
No, I never eat
When do you have your cravings then?
I probably get up. Most of the time I have like a banana, apples and things like that for breakfast. I might have that like about 11 o'clock. I really don't eat a lot, actually, funnily enough.
You what?
I know you'll probably disagree, but I don't.
I didn't hear what you said.
Which part?
That I might
Which bit did
disagree.
you hear?
Something that I would disagree or something.
Oh, that I don't actually eat much.
Well, the reality is, it's not eating much that's going to help you. It's what you eat that's going to help you. You have to understand that there's a certain vibration that heals the body. There's a certain vibration that feeds the body. Not eating. If you don't eat, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Your metabolism is not going to like that at all. We need to eat, things that are high vibrational, but we need to get nutrition in. Nutrition is the key. And when I talk about nutrition, I'm not talking about food so much. I'm talking about minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and lots of plant fiber, like doing, fruit smoothies, right? And not doing a ton of fruit and different fruit, but doing berries. Your organic berries are the best thing to do for smoothies. And there's nothing wrong with you eating. And the reality is, the only reason why you don't eat is because you've got a traffic jam in there. Okay? Nobody's metabolism slows down their whole life. If it did, we wouldn't be here. what happens is we get blocks in our body of calcification blocks, which, look at, you had a calcification scar tissue block with your spine that they had to do surgery, correct?
Yeah.
So everything is a block, whether it's calcification, crystallization from lactic uric acid, or scar tissue, which is the main one. And you're going to get blocks of scar tissue wherever there's a lot of inflammation. Because if you have inflammation, that causes dehydration to your organs, tendons, muscles, ligaments. That means that your tendons and ligaments get shorter because they're dehydrated. Your muscles will look like they're thinning out, but there's the same amount of fiber there. You've just lost all the water, the moisture out of them, and now we're called beef jerky. And that's what people call old age, is the joint pain, okay, the muscle pain, and the recurring muscle pain in the same places is because you've built up scar tissue in that area. And if you move a certain way, it can push and you can even get calcification and push and irritate the nerves, or even the scar tissue can wrap around your nerves, wrap around your intestines, and impede your digestion, impede your assimilation and your excretion.
Yeah, I definitely don't drink enough.
Pardon?
I definitely don't drink enough.
Well, how much do you drink? Like on a bad day? On a bad day?
As in not drinking much. I'll probably have a coffee in the morning, then I drink water all day, and then I might have a coffee in the afternoon or a cup of tea. But I probably drink two mugs, and probably I'll be lucky if I drink a
2 mugs?
bottle of water. I'll be lucky if I drink a little bottle of water.
A day?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? And this is not me being anything but real. I can't help you. 1 bottle of water.
Why does my body not want it?
1 bottle of water is like 12 ounces.
Yeah.
And 1 bottle of water means that would keep, are you ready for this? A 24-pound baby alive. So you need to understand that, you know, if a person, let's say, weighs 200 pounds or more, they need to do from 100 ounces to 120 ounces. And it has to be structured water. It can't just be water. Because you have to understand something. And when I say this, understand, I mean this in the most lovely way, but if you have a lot of extra weight, we have to lighten that load, toxicity level. And we know that structured water will actually hydrate 1,000% better than any other water. And you can, if you use a structured water unit, the water is so light that if you're drinking other waters, you might be able to drink a 16-ounce glass, but you could drink 32 ounces of structured water because it has no surface tension, and it goes into the cells so easy with nutrition, and it takes the toxins out so much better.
I have got a structured water unit.
Well, then, you know what? You know what you got to do? Can you start off with this? Can you put 3 1-liter containers with your name on it? Okay? And before you have your coffee in the morning, you need to drink 1 liter of water.
Oh, that goes me coffee then, eh?
Then you can have your coffee, love. But understand, to kick in...
I'll be sat on the toilet all the time.
Oh, let me tell you something. Do you want a better life?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then just start heading for the 1 liter. Only do what you can. But, you know, if you could put black diamond, Ormus minerals in that, and if that 1 liter of water was warm to hot, it'll open up things. It'll loosen up the mucus. It'll start increasing the circulation. You'll have bigger, better bowel movements and flow. Listen, with the weight that you're carrying, your transverse colon has fallen down at least a foot. That transverse colon that is supposed to run underneath your rib cage right here, that's the transverse. You've got down here is called the cecum. The cecum is down here on the right side. And then you've got the ascending colon, transverse that comes across, then the descending. Just keep it the larger picture, please. And the descending, and then you've got your sigmoid rectum. That transverse colon was here, and that transverse colon, I guarantee you, is down by your belly button, or it's been pulled down underneath your belly button. So now we've got what we call, it's got to climb up to the hepatic flexure liver area and come across, but it's not coming across. It's got to go back down because the transverse colon has been tore down because of the extra weight in front. And whether you believe this or not, your neck problem and your neck problem, your low back problem is all about the weight that's your waistline weight.
I do have a curvature to the spine at the bottom as well. So.
Pardon?
I have a curvature to my spine at the bottom, at my lower back.
I apologize. I still didn't hear you clearly.
I've got a curvature to my spine.
Oh yeah, but most people have a curvature and understand something. So if I can explain this, okay? So what happens is when we have scoliosis, okay? What happens is we can have an organ or a part of our body. There's the spine. So let's say on this side we have an organ or there's a certain part of our body that's inflamed. So inflammation causes dehydration, correct?
Yeah.
So do you think that the actual spine is going to come closer to the inflammation or it's going to pull away from the inflammation?
Well, obviously pull away.
It's going to pull away. So, so the more stressed out a person gets, or the more infected their mind is, the more infected their diet is, the more infection, the more inflammation, the more inflammation, the more dehydration. And the spine will actually pull away from that area because it's trying to protect itself. Now, understand this, it'll only get worse if the person has, if they're overweight or even underweight. Like people that are underweight, they're not well either. The people that can't put on weight, that's a bad situation. You're better to be a little bit overweight than underweight, okay? Because that's a lot easier, healthier. But if you're overweight by quite a bit, then we know that's quite dangerous, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good.
All right. So the reality is we're having this conversation, but if you don't want to do what nature does, and that is everything in nature, when it gets up in the morning, it finds a water source and it gorges itself with water. And after it gorges itself with water, then it has these massive dumps. Because understand something, with you drinking 1 bottle of water a day, the water that's actually in your foodstuffs, okay? First of all, you're not digesting very well your food, the nutrition. And then by the time it makes a 30-foot travel and it gets into your large intestine, the last 5 to 7 feet, but yours has been stretched. Yours is actually around 10 to 12 feet now. Okay, so 7 feet has gone longer because the weight has actually stretched the large intestine. And if you take a look at the large intestine, it's got what we call hostras, like muscles. You've lost your muscle tone. Now, believe it or not, you could have all this come back. You could, but right off the bat, if you tell me, well, I'm not going to drink that water, we're in trouble. Because if I'm going to cut down trees and I want to get them to the mill, there better be water in the river. And understand something, whether you believe it or not, you have impaction. You have impacted fecal waste that can be years old, impacted along the lining and in your pelvis. You'll have endometriosis, you'll have bladder infections, you'll have cysts on your ovaries. If we go looking for this stuff, we're going to find it. Okay? All you've got to do, is say, I'm going to get a different personality about the way I feel about myself. You have to bring up your value. You have to really practice things of really loving yourself, like really loving yourself, wanting to care for this temple. And understand something. There's nothing wrong with you except there was a belief system that you have low value. And I'm not going to get into it deeply with the emotional. If you wanted to come on and you wanted to do the emotional, we could, but most people don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Meanwhile, that's the holy grail of everything. If you're in charge of your emotions, then you're not going to be up and down, and you're not going to be a compulsive eater. And the reality is you say that you don't eat much now. Well, you used to eat. You used to.
I ate more, yeah.
But your appetite is gone because your energy is gone. You have to have energy just to eat. And if you've got no energy, you're not going to be hungry. But if you're not going to eat, you're not going to get your nutrition. And the reality is where do you want to start with this? Lucas, what do you think about what I'm saying?
Water.
Well, it'll be drinking plenty of water, and obviously the digestive system, getting that a lot better. And obviously everything you said, we both deep down truly 100% agree with you.
Okay, well, here's the thing. What we've got to really look at, and you're going to, and do you live with your mother, Lucas?
I do not know.
Okay, do you live alone, Beverly?
No, my other son lives with me.
Your other son?
Yeah.
And what does he eat?
A lot worse.
Yeah.
He eats
a lot
worse?
worse than mother does, yeah.
Okay, well, just let you, I'm going to tell you something, Lucas, and this is the God's truth. Your mother doesn't have a chance here. You can't.
Well, it's
can't live with
in the same house, isn't it?
You can't live with someone that eats worse because you can't. Because the reality is when we say he eats worse, what we're actually saying is that he's addicted to the additives and the chemicals and the poisons more than your mother. So everybody's an addict today. And the reality is this: your mother can have all the willpower she wants, but as soon as she feels a little bit tired and she sees the food that he brings in that are addictive and that actually create a dopamine, serotonin rush from her brain, she's going to grab that.
100%. 100%, no doubt.
So what is it? I don't want to be on here and pretend I'm smart or something. And I don't want to be on here telling her to do things she doesn't want to do. I think what is it that you would like to see, Beverly, from me?
Oh gosh, I would certainly like more. I would certainly like more information, like on water and things like that. And
what do you want, Beverly? What do you want to? What is it you would like to become? But you know what? It's a very important question, and health practitioners don't
more
ask this
energy.
one. No, but what do you want to look like? What do you want to do with your life? What's your passion? What's your purpose? Why do you want to be healthy?
So I can go out and enjoy myself and walk places, because I can't at the moment.
Okay,
Can't
so
do
what
much walking.
Well, then
She
what
would love to be able to ride again.
she'd love to what?
Be able to ride again.
Horses.
Okay, well that would be 12 to 16 months, and that would be her putting her heart into this, being patient with herself. She would have to clear out all the cupboards, all the fridge, and she'd have to ask her son to move out. Because, or to have, or you have to have somebody that's going to live there, and you know what? It's teamwork that makes the dream work. Okay. Listen, I used to smoke when I was younger. I don't want a pack of cigarettes ever near me again. I haven't smoked for years and years and years and years. And it was a difficult thing to change. I don't want a bag of chips in my house because I'll eat them. Because I have an addictive personality. So I have to discipline myself. I'm not going to bring a corner store into my house. And every corner store, if you go into a corner store, you're only going in to poison yourself, right? So anything that comes from a corner store, and guess what? Only 2% of what's in a inside of a supermarket is healthy, and it's not even really healthy. It's called a vegetable or a fruit, but guess what? Most of it doesn't have the minerals in it anymore, or the microorganisms that were healing us. So we need to be logical about this and not give your mother more. I would have you come on, Lucas, with your mother. You could come on every 4 weeks. But I only want to give her what I know that she goes, that's attainable. That's attainable. So I'm not.
Baby steps.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something, and this is the God's truth, and there's people going to be watching this. Right now, we are doing an online course, and this is a true story. Not yesterday, the day before. I'm on there, and I've got practitioners coming up and sitting in front of me, asking me questions about where they are. And this beautiful lady, I said to her, guess what? You've come a ways, but the suppressed anger you have, because I'm very intuitive. I mean, I pick up on everybody right away. And this is why I'm backing off on your mother, because the reality is we can't go too fast here. Okay?
No.
All right. And we have to be very, very gentle here. But, you know, I said to this practitioner, I said, I'm going to tell you something right now. You've come a ways, but understand, at the rate that you're moving, you would have to live until you are 500 years old. You have not taken massive personal action. You know, what you need to do is you need to say, I will do this tomorrow. And you make that every day you have a goal that you're going to accomplish. You know, if you were to change, but
she's quite good at sort of stopping things and cutting things out for a while. And then she goes like everyone gets led back into the system again with system food and poison.
Well, I know that, but because guess what? She's using will. 1 second.
It is financial as well, and it is very difficult to get organic food.
We used
and
to
salad stuff over here on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, we used to go to the organic shop all the time. The prices are through the roof, and then they shut that down.
Okay, 1 second. Guess what? You still need to do fruits and vegetables. And you know 100%. What? If you soak them in structured water and baking soda, you're going to pull most of the toxins off anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen to me. Listen to me. It's not, you don't have to buy organic all the time. And what I told you was it's about amino acids. Your mother needs amino acids. So she needs protein. And the reality is this, I'm not telling her to go eat a cow. I'm telling her, you know, things like lentil soup, things like bean soup, you know, doing things like half an avocado with lemon and salt shook on it. Doing what she should be doing is doing a blender drink with maybe 2 or 3 raw eggs in it twice a day to give her lots of amino acids. She has no muscle anymore. Okay, if we were to lose, if she loses the fat, she's not going to have any muscle underneath there. And understand something, Lucas. The whole world's been screwed over. It's not about your mother. The whole world's screwed over.
Yeah.
But you know, Luke, how old are you, Lucas?
Me, I am 29.
Okay, so by the time you're 40, you better be cranking off where you're doing a half an hour workout in the morning and night, or doing an hour workout every day. And if you don't, you're going to waste away. And we look at the majority of the population. They do not do any exercise. All the young people exercise when they've got their tone, and then as we get older, we hardly do any exercise, and then all we talk about is how we used to be an athlete. Well, I'm athletic because I have muscle, I have tone, I have flexibility, I have strength, and I wouldn't have that if I don't do at least 40 minutes to an hour every day. You know, I just turned 67, and you can take a look at me when I'm 77 and 87. I'm going to have the same type of body. The reality is
if you don't use it, you lose it.
You're right. But the reality is we've got to start somewhere. So it's like this. I can't do what I used to do. Well, do what you can do. And every day you add onto that.
Yeah, you do try.
Yeah.
She does try, but she gets so much pain with spine. She finds it difficult. but she was very good because all the medication. that they
Lucas,
had put her on-
Lucas, I gotta tell you something. If you
Yeah.
if you could ever learn the Wolf non-surgical, you could
I would love to.
you could unravel your mother. You could
Yeah.
unravel everything.
I've been
in her.
I've wanted to for years, Daryl, but it's been money scenarios. Obviously, I haven't been able to pay for it. But that's definitely on my agenda.
Well, then why don't you give me a call and tell me what you're able to do?
Okay, yeah.
You know
I will
what?
do,
You know what,
yeah.
Lucas? Do you really want it? Go for it. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. You watch what I do in the next 12 months, my friend, and understand something.
You've been watching
Okay?
for years.
Until you believe it over and over, and you will never achieve it. You don't let anything distract you. What do you want in your life? And I'm not saying it's about the non-surgical, but your mother too. You know, if you decide you really want
I
something,
would like to. I would like to be able to heal people that is around me, heal my loved ones, friends, and possibly help try to save some sort of lives in some sort of way and help the world out. That's my true goal myself.
is to do what? Is to what?
Sort of help friends out, help loved ones out. Sort of heal the world, if you know
Well,
what I mean.
let's make something perfectly clear. You're not going to help anyone out until you help yourself out. Until you feel like
100%,
you are
yeah.
the master of this life and that you're
Yeah.
living your passion and your purpose. There's nothing. So most people just want to help everyone because they have no value, Lucas. I want you to help
Yeah.
people because you have all the value in the world. There's a difference.
Totally agree. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, totally agree with you there, Daryl.
And that's
If you've
it.
got no
You know?
love for yourself, you've got no love for anyone else, have you?
Well, the reality is you know how many practitioners out there that are health practitioners that are totally sick and drained and they look awful.
Yeah.
They feel awful because guess what? Let me tell you something, Lucas. Remember, I've been at this for 44 years and I've been called everything, a
Yeah.
quack, snake oil salesman, rip-off artist, you know, and that's the majority of the population belching. And the reality is they're belching because they've been programmed to. And the reality is
Exactly.
know who you are, and then stand up for yourself. And because guess what, Lucas, you cannot become a practitioner because you want to help people. You need to become a practitioner to master your life, your body, your mind, your heart.
Yeah.
That's why you become a practitioner, and then you shine that light. But you're not out trying to tell the world that you have value. You need to show yourself that you do, and then it stops there because you don't need approval from anybody. So
No,
that's
we don't,
the deal.
not at all. Most
Okay.
people only see as far as their nose, and they always show hate.
So here,
Like, yeah.
what should I, tell me, give me some guidance. What is it that I can do for your mother? Because I don't want to give her more than she can handle. So the reality is even just, guess what? There's 3 quarts of structured water, okay? And guess what? We need a quart and a half done by noon, and we need another quart and a half done by 4 o'clock. And guess what? It'll be a pain in her katush because of the weight that she's got up front. She'll call up you, Lucas.
Lucas, I can't do this. I'm going to the washroom every 10 minutes. I'm going to the washroom every 10 minutes. I might as well just stay on the I might as well stay on the toilet. I might as well stay on the toilet.
And understand something.
Take me bottle in there, Daryl.
But that'll only be for a little while, though, won't it, Daryl?
I know, I was just going to say it's for 10 days to maybe 20 days, and then it's going to stop. Because, see, she only drank a little bit of water, so she didn't take her bladder to the gym, so the little sucker is sitting under all that weight, and it's actually dehydrated and shrunk up.
Yeah, I am dehydrated, yeah. I know I am.
Yeah.
Because I had to do a second blood test for my kidneys because they said I was dehydrated on the first one.
Yeah.
Understand something. I don't even know how your kidneys are even still here. I don't have a clue.
They might not be for long, Daryl. We don't know, do we?
What?
I said they might not be for long. Who knows?
Well, guess what? Are you going to start drinking water, and is it going to be structured?
Yes, I am, yeah.
And you don't
And
have
I'm
to
gonna be better
you
with
don't
my
need to
diet
put,
as
you don't
well.
need to put my stuff in it, but go find yourself high electrolyte trace minerals and saturate your body with it. Lots of trace minerals, lots of amino acids, meaning guess what? Let's get some raw eggs into you in those fruit smoothies with some coconut milk, raw eggs, and some berries. And guess what? You won't even taste the eggs. You see this here? That's a smoothie I just made. It's the first thing I took in that's food today because I intermittent fast every day. But the reality is, guess what? I made a smoothie, a 32-ounce smoothie, and I put 3 raw eggs into it, okay? And I'll probably do another one this afternoon, and the reason why is because I want to build. And believe it or not, eggs are the perfect food, and people can go, oh, they get all this BS going, but it's one of the least expensive to actually help to start building your body back. And then if you did lentil soup, if you did bean soup, you know, if you actually did that kind of stuff, I mean, you need aminos and you need fatty acids. Listen, Beverly, I need you to do, if you can't afford C60 coconut oil, then guess what? Go buy organic coconut oil. And guess what I want you to do? I want you to do a blender drink. I want you to do a blend.
Yeah.
I want you to do a blender drink twice a day. And I want you to put two tablespoons of olive oil in the first one. And then in the second one, I want you to put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, MCT oil, if you can get it, and in the second one. And then I need you to go find a trace mineral product. And I need you to, if it says something like on our bottle, 40 drops, I'd want you to do 120 because your Visa card's been blown a long time. And then we need you to do this. We need you to actually do like a half an avocado a day. We need you to do maybe make some lentil soup or some bean soup. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do. And then, you know, at nighttime, snack on fresh fruit. And you start doing this, okay? So we got to get the amino acids, got to get the fatty acids, got to get the essential minerals, and then we got lots of plant fiber going in there. And then we've got a minimum of 3 liters or quarts, whatever you want to call them, okay, of water, and you'll do 1.5 quarts, and it's going to be warm to hot, and you'll have it done by noon, and you'll do it again, no excuses, by 4 o'clock, because all the urine will be out by 7, 8 o'clock at night. So you're not calling Lucas going, I can't do this anymore. I'm peeing all night. I can't get my sleep. So guess what? We got to outsmart your subconscious that says, listen, Beverly, we know you're terribly overweight. We know you don't feel good, but at least you're not dead. And we're not going to go for that because the subconscious doesn't give a crap what the programs are, whether they're killing you or they're healing you. Your subconscious will just run these bloody programs. It's only a computer. You know, Beverly, did you know that there are no thoughts stored in the brain? Did you know there's only programs? And the program can be the worst program in the world. And we've got some bad programs going on with you, Beverly, even though that you're a beautiful mother, that you are full of love for everybody but yourself.
Totally agree there, Daryl.
What?
I said I totally agree there. Unfortunately, she's always had a lot of hate for herself, you know, no self-love.
That I know that. And guess what? And if she has it, she's actually been programmed by the government and by probably religion that if she had self-love, she would feel like she's sinning or she could go to hell for it. And let me tell you something. No, hold on a second. You may not think about going to hell, but understand something. Then why is it so hard for people to love themselves? You can't give what you're not. So Beverly, let me tell you, you've been programmed so deeply that guess what? We've been programmed so deeply in the subconscious that we actually believe that if we did unconditionally love ourselves, it's in the subconscious, it's not in the conscious, that we're going to get in big trouble. Because no one's allowed to love themselves on this planet, because as long as we don't, we're enslaved by these psychos.
Yeah.
I am not, and understand how much fear do you have, Beverly? I have no fear because I have unconditional love for myself. And understand something. The less love you have for yourself, the more fear you have because you don't have faith in yourself. Because once you go inside yourself and you see what's in there, you go into your heart. Okay. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to leave this with you, And guess what, Lucas, I'll come back on with your mother in a few days, but I need her to focus and tell me what is it she wants. But here's the deal. You have brain cells.
Yeah.
In your heart, you have 40,000.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
In your heart, you have 40,000 neurons. They thought they were brain cells in the heart, and then they discovered that they had way more electricity, way more light and power than anything they've seen in the brain. They measured them and found out that the energy that comes off them is limitless. They can't measure it, what comes off of these 40 trillion cells in the heart. And I call that the God spot. And if you were to
Bear with me 2 seconds, Darryl. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
You can speak still, Mum.
Yeah, I have heard that about the heart, yeah.
So what I want you to do is I want you to do this. I want you to, just in finishing up here, I want you to write what's called the Braveheart Hero's Oath. And I want you to write down the way you want to see the shape of your body, your mind, your life, where you live, what it looks like, and what you would be doing if you were the master of all of those things. What would your life look like? What would it feel like? And I want you to be very specific, and I want you to go and write that today. And then I want you to look at it every morning and every night. And then for 33 days, and you'll have a blueprint of what you truly are, your authentic self and what you're after. And I need you to put your hand on your heart, and I need you to breathe 4 seconds in and 6 seconds out with a slight smile, and then just filling your heart up with gratitude, and then picturing where you want to be. And I want you to do that for 3 to 5 minutes every hour of the day. And then tell me every hour of the day, you're going to stop. You're going to do what's called the lion's heart breath, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, a slight smile. Put your hand on your heart, and you're going to picture you are the word grateful, thankful, and you're going to, of everything that you got, and then you're going to picture yourself being unlimited and having the power to achieve what you need to. And I'm going to tell you, you do that 5 minutes every hour that you're awake. 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes every hour that you're awake. And guess what? You will see the pounds leave, because it's mind over matter, but you must come up through the heart, because you cannot use the mind that's been programming you to stay overweight.
Yeah, I mean, I actually am quite, I try not to let things get me down at all.
And did you hear what you said? I try not to let things get me down. Well, let me just say, one second.
Sorry about that, Darryl.
I always try and have a smile on my face all the time.
Let me just say something. Right what you just said. You said, I try not to. It means that you let things get you down all the time, and that's your thing. Anything, that's why you need to take a Braveheart love band or just a hair band, and you need to put it here, and you need to tie it, Lucas, that it sticks out a little.
Yeah.
That's a kiss. This is snug as a hug. And every time she starts to worry, she goes, that's the old me. Okay, there's a new sheriff in town called Unconditional Love. I'm not worried about Lucas. I'm not worried about my son. I'm not worried about the end of the world. I'm not worried about my weight. I am focusing on having the best moment of my life, every moment, every day, and I'm going to work on it. And that's the deal.
I do agree with you, Darryl, because I used to wear your bands for many, many years when I suffered with anxiety, and they do help a heck of a lot.
Last time you said about taking is it enzymes for the stomach when you eat?
Pardon?
You said about taking enzymes for the stomach or something.
Okay, first of all, you can take enzymes for the stomach. I would tell you that. Do you ever get heartburn?
If I eat the wrong things, yeah.
Okay. All right.
If I eat really healthy and I don't eat
I'm going to tell you that you do not eat enzymes on pretty well everything I've told you if you actually chew it until it's a liquid. So you drink your solids, and you chew your liquids. Do you understand? You drink your solids and you chew your liquids. And the reality is, if you didn't eat in a hurry, remember something, when you chew your foods, the smaller the particle, the more that the enzymes that you make will be able to wrap around them and digest and assimilate into your small intestine. The reality is this, if I go out and I know that I'm going to go off track, now, you don't need to do what I do, but I know how to rock this thing. You don't do 2 enzymes. Lori and I, if we go out and we eat something, we know it's not going to be great for us. We'll take 2 capsules of hydrochloric acid, okay? 2 capsules of hydrochloric acid, and those HCl. And you can buy them in your drugstore, HCl, and that helps to break down the protein part. So you take those 2 capsules, maybe about 5 minutes prior to eating your meal, if you're going to be eating a concentrated protein or, overloading it a little bit. And then about 5 minutes into the meal, we'll take 10 digestive enzymes. And people should not need enzymes at every meal if they're chewing their actually chewing their liquids and drinking their solids. And when you drink your solids, it means it's in your mouth long enough that it becomes a liquid and it's not going down in chunks. And that's why people need to drink at a meal is to wash their food down, because they don't chew it. Okay. And just understand, anybody that's drinking at their meals to wash their food down is going to have probably a hip replacement, lower spinal surgery, kidney problems, liver problems, but definitely bowel problems, probably ovarian cysts, endometriosis, bladder infections, okay? For men, prostate problems, erectile dysfunction. I could keep going if you want, but the whole world's pooping in their pelvis right now. And that is the only true, real epidemic going on, is that people have leaky gut. And it's not leaky gut, it's leaky large intestine, because the large intestine does not have the integrity that it should anymore, because we treated it like a garbage can when it's actually a compost to create good bacteria, which is 85% of our immune system. If you go into my library and you actually watch The Highway to Health, it's a masterclass in the docofdetoxlibrary.com, and you watch Holy Crap, the Holy Grail, your large intestine, and then you watch How to Become Number 1 at the Art of Number 2, and Reverse the Irreversible, those masterclasses, you're going to rock. You'll know more than 90% of the practitioners out there. You got to understand, the practitioners and the doctors don't even understand that it's calcification and scar tissue formation and crystallization that causes all blocks, that causes all diseases, and there are no diseases, there's just blockages, and those blockages start off in the mind, the landmine, I'd like to say, and the invisible creates the physical, otherwise the psychological rules the biological, and that's it. So you have to change your attitude, which means you have to change some parts of your personality, the ones that are creating the low value with yourself and making you feel like you're unworthy or unlovable or not beautiful, which is a lie.
Thank you, Dr. Darrell.
Yeah, totally agree.
So you and your mother can get together, and if you want, we'll do another session with her if she would like.
Yeah,
but I would suggest that she looks at the 4 pillars of the perfect day in the pdgfree.com guide. That's perfect day guide free.com, but it's short initials, pdgfree.com. If you start reading, if you read that from cover to cover, it's 550 pages. You would know more than the natural health practitioners that you go to. And that's the reality. If you don't become your own practitioner in this lifetime, you're screwed, because most of the health practitioners out there are playing Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. Okay? A person has a 20-foot ladder and they say, here's a 5-foot ladder. Let's just climb that 4 times and we'll pretend we're getting out. We're not. The reality is this. Everything in life that means something, you need to be the master who's the driving force behind it. You don't want to go for a treatment. You want to get trained. And guess what? Go for treatments long enough, you will be mistreated. And guess what? Stay ignorant long enough and you are going to be sold by the pound. And that's the bottom line. And Lucas, you know that's the truth.
Oh, 100%. Superman is not coming to save you. You've got to save yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So please take a look at these things. But at least if just one
Will
thing
do.
this week, let's get the power of water, warm, structured water. And let's see if you can work your way towards 3 liters. Okay? And if you are sipping water all day, just sipping on it all day, that's how you should water the lawn, with a sprinkler. We're not just going to dump all the water on the lawn. It gets wasted. And understand this, okay? Walk around and just keep saying, I'm a genius. I'm beautiful. Just make up things. Because guess what? You've been lying all your life that you don't have value. Now I want you to tell what'll feel like a lie, but actually is the truth. Okay? You're the $1 billion woman. Okay?
I'll try. Yeah, I'll give it a go, darling.
You're not allowed to say try. To try is to lie. And you just told me, Daryl, I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm going to fail.
Oh, sorry.
Do not say try. Say, try this one. I will do it.
I will.
I will do it.
Yes,
Say,
I will.
No,
I
not
will
I
do
will. I will do it.
I will do it.
Yeah, and see, the reason why you don't do that is because you go, I don't want to get in trouble in case I don't. Well, guess what? Who could you ever get in trouble to? There is no authority over you.
Me.
That's what.
I'll be in trouble with myself, won't I?
No more trouble with yourself. You're going to be the most unconditional lover you've ever met when it comes to yourself, and you are going to have total patience, and you are going to increase your love for yourself 1% a day, and in 100 days, okay, you'll be shining the brightest light in the universe.
Thank you.
All right, sweetheart. Lucas, give me a call, my friend. It's been an honor. It's been an honor to have you and your mother on. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to our chat 1-to-1.
Yeah, we'll do a chat. We'll do the Wolf Report, and we'll talk about, is the UK really okay?
No, unfortunately, it's not.
All right.
But we'll have to get to that on that chat, okay?
All right, my friend. Have a beautiful
Thank you
day.
very much.
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Okay. God bless.
Right, bye.
Bye.
You know what, everybody? People are beautiful. And we've all been programmed by the Royals, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. And I know people don't want to hear this, but they own all the textbooks, all the schools. Nothing gets into a school unless they get to rewrite the story. It's his story. And understand something. People aren't their beliefs, so try not to judge them. Try to observe and love them. Okay? And just know this, that a week from tomorrow's Wednesday, we will be doing the kickoff for the 6-day advanced water fast. If you haven't seen the 2-week preparation where I came on part 1 and part 2, where I did internal therapies and nutrition and food, and then I did external therapies and techniques, part 2, on how to do an advanced water fast and create more stem cells and autophagy than anything else you can do in your life. Please go to my guide, the 6-day advanced water fasting guide in my library, and watch those 2 audios. You know, start empowering yourself. You know what? Seriously, nobody's coming. Like Lucas said, Superman's not coming, and there's no practitioner coming to heal you and keep you healed. A practitioner can create a vibration of healing, but you have to be the magnet, and then you've got to take that in, and you've got to take it in, and you've got to hold it long enough and strong enough to become it. That would be the deal. So just know, everybody, we do have our 6-day advanced water fasting sale on. It will end a week from this Wednesday. If you want to check that out, whether you're on the fast or not, please stick your toe in and find out why advanced water fasting is the least expensive, but the most powerful way to heal and feel and change yourself on an emotional and physical level. When you do an advanced water fast, you change emotionally as well. Oh, yes, you do. The invisible toxins will leave as well, which are belief systems that have been driven into you from 0 to 7 years old. And whether you believe it or not, Beverly is still working off belief systems that she got from 0 to 7, because we don't have filters from 0 to 7. No matter what mommy and daddy did and the teacher did and everybody else did that we thought were an authority over us, we took that in, and it's probably doing us in. We need to really learn that we need to go in and brainwash, okay? Do you want them to do it? If they do it, you're going to be sold off by the pound. It's not, and it's going to be a bumpy ride, so you better buckle up, okay? So you're either going to take massive personal action and really work against your subconscious that believes that you shouldn't be forgiven, okay? All right, that you don't measure up. And isn't it kind of funny? I almost spent my whole life trying to get there, trying to be accepted. Well, you're never, ever going to be accepted until you accept yourself. God bless, and have the best day ever. Bye now.